going to answer the questions already. Okay. Going to answer the questions already. Going to answer the questions already.
Turn your mouse again. Okay.
Okay. 32. So the others will just be watching through YouTube, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I will send the URL to you. Oxygen as well.
Okay.
Okay. Enjoy your teaching.
Thank you, teacher. Post. Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me loud and clear, students?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so last week you had your quiz, right? And that mainly focuses only on puberty and menstrual cycle, but I added a little of the reproduction process itself. So before we're going to answer your quiz, let's go first to the ones that you haven't had in your quiz, which is the reproductive system parts of the male and the female. So we're not going to focus on the main function, but the structure itself, the parts only. So at least you know which one is which. You will not be exchanging the names of those parts. That's why. Okay. Let's identify or label the parts of the male and female reproductive system. But wait. Oh well. Here we go again. Okay. Anyone here who haven't taken the quiz yet? Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, you can still have the quiz for you to complete the requirements, but I will just make a minus points, like five points only. Don't worry. Just a little extra. Wait. Okay. And then where is that? Let's start first with the male reproductive system. Okay. So wait, why is not opening it? Okay. Okay. So, sorry, for your finals examination, as I mentioned last time, after our review today, you can have already your examination, but you have to message me if you want to have it earlier. But I will send the link probably tonight for everyone, but still it's easier to just message me personally so I can send the link. And for this one, I made 4 links for your examination, 1 for each class, so that it's easier to identify which class are you on, especially so if you will not put your names or your class number, so I have to separate the classes. Okay, so I have to know which class you are, and that to know, oh my gosh, again. Wait. Make me a co-host. Hi. Okay, we have a lot of participants. That's good. Okay. Okay, let's start first here. Wrong. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so again, for the parts of the male and female reproductive system, let's just focus mainly on the parts, not the function, because especially so, you will have it later on in your higher sciences. So of course, for the external part, or the what we see outside, of course, we have here the penis and the scrotum. Okay, why can't I see? Okay. Can see it. Bad connection. Okay, so the outer part of the urethra, where the mouse pointer is, although I cannot see it in my computer, is the penis, of course, and inside is the urethra, where semen with the sperm and urine passes. And then also you have the scrotum, which is where that covers the testicles or testes. So for the testes, it can be spelled as T-E-S-T-E-S or T-E-S-T-I-S. So that's the same thing. Or testicles, better. Okay. Then, wait, why? Okay. Why still not moving? Okay, here. So here, this one, outer part is the penis. Again, this side will be filled with blood because these ones are filled with blood vessels. That's why it's able to erect. And the outer part here, the one that sags, is the scrotum. That's the outer structure. Now the internal structure, of course, we have the urethra for the one in the middle or inside the penis. And then we have here another tube, which is the vas deferens. The ones here is where the first fluid that composes the semen will be secreted, which is the seminal vesicle. Okay. Then we have here the epididymis, this one. It's like the clouds or like a hairdo of the testicles. This one is the epididymis. And then the circular part here is where the the sperm are produced, called the testicles. Okay, another side of this, so that you can see, okay, oops. Why again? Okay, let's wait. Okay, so here it's the same thing, the male reproductive system, but on the posterior side or at the side if you're looking at it. So it's the same thing. The testicles, epididymis, vas deferens, and then we have here, this one is the seminal vesicle. One structure also is the prostate gland, which is another gland that secretes another fluid for the semen. So the semen now is not just one type of fluid, but a combination of fluid from the seminal vesicle, the prostate gland. Okay, so that will give all the nutrients and protection for the semen to, for the sperm to be alive when it's outside the body. Okay, what else? Okay, so testes, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, urethra, penis, and scrotum. Okay, so those are the parts that we are most likely to use in our examination. So that's 6. I will only put 5. So, but I will give like 6 or 7 choices for you to choose. So you have to know the difference of this. Okay, and then we have the female. So if you have the male, okay, let me stop first. Let's have the female. Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, there we have it. So for this one, we don't see the outer structure or the external structure of the female reproductive system. And again, what we see only on the outer part is the vulva and the clitoris. But we cannot see it with this. So for female reproductive system, we're going to focus on the internal structure or what is inside. So first, of course, we have the vagina. Okay, so this would be the receptacle for the penis in term when they are going to have intercourse. So when males would ejaculate the semen, it would be on this one. And half or a lot of those sperm will only survive to push through or continue its journey through the cervix. So this is the cervix, the smaller opening here. So this is the cervix. And then going through the uterus. So this uterus is where the fertilized egg would be implanted or where the zygote will grow. Okay, the zygote is the term for the fertilized egg, and it will be the baby, as we called later on. Okay, and then we have the fallopian tube. In the end of the fallopian tube is the finger-like structure called the fimbriae. And of course, we have the ovaries. So the ovaries, again, is the female counterpart for the testes or the testicles. The fimbriae here is the female counterpart for the epididymis. And the fallopian tube is the female counterpart for the vas deferens. Okay. So again, so the eggs will be produced here. It will stay in the fimbriae. Here is where it will mature, and it will wait for the sperm on this part. And when it will be fertilized, it will slowly travel towards the uterus. So it's most likely to implant itself anywhere in the uterus. When it will stay in the fallopian tube, the baby will most likely to die because this one is very thin and it can't contract. So it will either have a bleeding for the mother, of course, because it will rupture. So it's called ectopic pregnancy. So it's not possible. So it has to stay or it be implanted in the uterus. So that's the process also of reproduction and conception. Okay, so of course, for the conception, it would take 9 months. Okay, so we will have discussion again on that when we see our notes. So as I mentioned, I already give to you your notes, and that would be our basis also for your exam. So for your examination, most of the questions in your quiz, I used that one. Some of the questions, I turned it into a true or false question instead of a multiple choice, but it's still the same question. So you have to read also your notes. Don't just remember the question. Okay. Okay. So here, so for you also to remember the parts, I have here already this one. For the parts that we are going to use, it would be this one, the scrotum, testis, epididymis, penis, urethra. Not much of the other glands. Okay, then no ureter, no urinary bladder. That's from the urinary system, so we're not going to use that one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, only that. And then for the female, of course, we cannot have the vulva, that's the external part. So vagina, cervix, uterus, ovary, fallopian tube, only that. Okay. So of course, you know already that the largest cell on the human body is the egg cell or the ovum. Ovum again, or is the singular form, and ova for the plural. And of course, the smallest cell in human body is the sperm cell. Okay. What else? So also, I highlighted here some of the words which I use for your multiple choice. Cilia, of course, that's the hair-like structure, which enables the gametes, or when we talk about gametes, these are egg cell or the sperm. Okay, so which enables the gametes to move, either the vas deferens or the fallopian tube. So fallopian tube and vas deferens have cilia to help the gametes move from from the fimbriae or the epididymis to the next part. Okay. The uterus is also called the womb, where, of course, the baby would stay for 9 months. And then, of course, one part of reproduction is puberty. So puberty here is the transition phase or a stage in life wherein kids or children will grow up to be young adults. Okay. And on this part, the girls will start to release mature eggs. This should be mature eggs. And then boys will start to produce the sperm. Now, what happens is that, okay, let's have first this one. So in this stage, there's a lot of things that changes. And here are some lists of the changes that happens to your body. Okay, so of course, there are some things that are only for females and things that are only for males. And of course, there are some things that both happens to males and females, of course. So growing taller and heavier, of course, is for both. And of course, for the feminine body structure is, of course, for females, and masculine structures, of course, for males. Okay, so I don't have to mention this. You already did your homework, so I was hoping you know this. Of course, so when we talk about deeper voice, like low, of course, that's for males. Okay, having bigger breasts or hips, that's for females. Having also periods is for females. Having wet dreams, of course, that's for males. Okay, and having oily skin and growing pimples, of course, that's for both. Having body odor because of sweat, it's for both male and female, of course. Okay, so what causes these changes? Why do we have this one? When we were children, we don't have it. Okay, that is because of the production of hormones. So when we were still young, okay, so it's most likely that the number of hormones is the same for males and females. But as we enter puberty, okay, these hormones now starts to either increase or decrease. So of course, if you are a female, you will grow less of the testosterone and have more estrogen. And then also start that the progesterone will also start to increase, but mostly of the estrogen when you are in puberty. Okay, and of course for males, testosterone will increase and estrogen will decrease. Okay. So we have the term androgen, which is androgynous, male-like. So androgens are most likely male hormones, but it doesn't mean that only males have them. Females can have it, but at low level, and that is one example is the testosterone, as we mentioned here. Okay, so again here, females also produce testosterone, usually in small amount. Okay, so again, if a female have more testosterone, they will have the more of a male like structure, like having a lot of facial hair or hairy. They have more hairs, low voice, something like that. So it doesn't mean that they are males, but having a male like structure or characteristic. Okay, so it can be changed by adding estrogen to their system. Also for males, if you have high estrogen, you will also have like feminine structure, like having less facial hair or having very high pitched voice, very small shoulders, like that of a female. That is most likely you have high estrogen. That's why gays will tend to have estrogen or testosterone hormones to have the structure that they wanted. Okay, so puberty will not last long. So for males, it will stop at the age of 21. Okay, and for females, it would only be until the age of 18. Okay, that's why on the early years of puberty, females tend to develop and grow faster compared with boys. Boys or males will mature slower. That's why the growth spurt for females is most likely like around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on that time, that they will grow taller faster. Males, on the other hand, will somewhat grow faster around 12, 13, 14, 15. So they will have the fast growing at that age, but they will still continue to grow, but a bit slower already until 21. Okay, so on this puberty age, of course, we mentioned males will already experience erection, ejaculation, and wet dreams or nocturnal emission. So at this stage, the boys will have spermatogenesis or production of sperm. Okay, so since they are already producing sperm, it will not stay in their body. It has to be flushed out on the body, because of course if it's not going to be used, then it will just stay there, it will just spoil. So that's why they have to ejaculate it. And since well, not everyone can just do it, so sometimes they will tend to have wet dreams and excrete the extra sperm. And sometimes when they just pee, some of the sperm will also come with it. Okay, so erection is just when the penis will develop the blood vessels, the blood will stay around the penis and it will constrict. That's why it becomes hard. That's the erection. And it will prepare the male reproductive system to ejaculate the sperm. The ejaculating is the a process where the semen and the sperm will be going out of the male body. That's it. Now, for females, they don't have oogenesis at puberty. They have oogenesis, or the production of egg cell, upon birth, but it will stop, it will pause, and continue maturing the eggs. So at puberty, eggs will mature and it will be delivered once every month. Unlike for males, they will produce billions and millions of sperm throughout the month. So a day would be like thousands or a million already. Okay, so that's one difference, because as we mentioned earlier, the sperm, there would be a lot of sperm on the first part of the journey, but at the end, only one will survive. That's why it has to have a lot of sperm, so that it assures that at least one will survive and fertilize the egg. Because if there is only like few sperm, then there's a big tendency that all those sperm will die before it reaches the egg. Okay, so since females produce only one egg every month, and if that egg will not be fertilized, then it also has to go out of the body. Females don't ejaculate. So in this counterpart, females will have a period, or the menstruation, that is to flush out the egg, the dead egg cell. So along with the egg cell, the uterus, the lining of the uterus, which becomes thick, will all have to be dislodged or removed so that it will become thin again. The uterus only becomes thick if it's already on the third or fourth stage of the menstruation, which is the luteal stage, where the uterus lining is thick. The uterus lining is just 3 layers. Okay, so like the outer, the middle, and the inner layer. That one. Again, remember 3 layers for the uterus. Okay, so all of that would be dislodged and out of the body through menstrual cycle. Okay. Good. Okay. Force one. So here, for the menstrual cycle, there are 4 phases. The menstruation, wherein the blood would be coming out, which lasts, well, 1 to 4 days. Okay. The follicular phase, wherein estrogen is the highest. And we have the middle stage, which is the ovulation, where both estrogen and progesterone is almost the same level, and the luteal stage, wherein the progesterone is highest. So here, during menstruation, the wall, this is the uterus wall, starts to decrease. And on the follicular phase, the uterus lining is somewhat thin, and then it starts to become thicker. On the ovulation here, that's the sign that the body is ready to be fertilized and have the baby or the zygote be implanted. That's why pregnancy would most likely to occur in luteal phase here, because as you can see, the lining of the uterus is very thick. So if the zygote will implant itself, it's okay. So the implantation for that the egg cell or the zygote through the uterus cycle, we have here the placenta. Okay, maybe you have heard of it. Okay, so again, we will discuss the reproduction cycle, okay, or the process. So of course, for the spermatogenesis, sperm will be produced inside the testicles, okay? So they will be produced here. So it's just like from baby to a kid. Now, it will become, or when they're in puberty also, they will stay in the epididymis, where it will mature, okay? And it's waiting to be ejaculated, okay? So, of course, when they will be ejaculated, okay, it will move out through the vas deferens, okay? And as I mentioned, the semen is composed of a lot of fluid from those glands. So we have the seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. Okay, we did not mention about Cowper's gland, but it also adds for the semen. Okay. Okay, and through erection, of course, is the preparation for ejaculation. Ejaculation is when the semen and the sperm will go out of the body. Okay, so let's stop first for that. Now let's go for the maturing of the egg in the female. So for the female, of course, it's just like this one. The eggs will also be produced in the ovary, and it will stay in the fimbriae to be matured, and it will stay here and wait for the sperm. Okay, it's most likely they are the same, but unlike for the males, the sperm will be ejaculated out, but for females, it will only stay here until it will be matured. If it will not be matured, then it will be go out to be in the process of period or menstruation. Okay. Now, if fertilization will occur, here's the process. So, of course, during the intercourse, the penis will go in here in the vagina, and the semen will be released out or ejaculated along with the sperm. So it will be here. And half or a lot of those sperm will die in here because of the acidic environment. That's why the semen is alkaline or base, which is the opposite of acid. Okay. So in here, only few of those sperm will survive and go through the cervix, through the uterus, and of course through the fallopian tube. So from the billions or millions, it will become millions to thousands, and then hundreds, and then just a few, and then only one. In some cases two, but yeah, mostly one sperm will fertilize the egg that is waiting here on the fimbriae. Now, when the sperm and the egg will meet, that's the fertilization part. Now, after it will be fertilized, it will now have to be implanted, or it has to go somewhere so that it can find nourishment for the zygote to grow. The zygote now is the term for the fertilized egg. Okay, so once it's fertilized, it will travel towards the uterus. So again, as I mentioned, the fallopian tube have cilia. It's like hairs. So it's just like the ones that will move the eggs, the egg cell or the zygote towards the uterus. So once it's already in the uterus, it will implant or attach itself to the wall of the uterus. That's why it has to be thick. And of course, it will stay there for 9 months. And after 9 months, the baby will be what? It will be birth, or you have to give birth, and that's it. Any question? I might be going too fast, so I'm asking. And since it's just a review, I did quite move fast. But if you have a question, you can ask me. None? Okay, so let's move on to the quiz that you had last time. Okay, so again, with your quiz, that's just most likely, it's just focusing on the puberty and menstrual cycle, since it's most likely the focus of the finals. So that's why you had that quiz. But in your finals, I added labeling of the male and the female reproductive system and the reproduction process as the whole, but mostly on reproduction. In puberty and menstrual cycle as well. So here in your quiz, this is how it looks like. But for your examination, I mentioned there are four links for each class. So for each class, for each link, there would be four sections. The first section would be just this one, your name and your class number. The second section would be your multiple choices. The third one is true or false. And fourth would be identification or labeling. And there are 5. True or false, multiple choice, true or false, labeling, and identification. Okay, so let's answer. So what period or stage is in development where children is turning into a young adult? What's the answer here? Puberty, poverty, puberty. Okay, so this one is knowing the spelling also. It's not just knowing the words, like how you hear it. You have to know also its spelling. So which one is it? The first, second, third, or fourth? Anyone? Hello? Okay, you have here. The spelling is here. So it's the first one. There. Then the largest cell in human body. Again, so we have the largest and the smallest. So when we're talking about the largest, it is okay, so in here, there are 2 possible answers. The answers are egg or ovum. It's the same thing. Okay, and then the smallest is the sperm. Okay. Then what is the major cause of the changes that happen in the puberty? Hormones, adulthood, development, or growth? Anyone? Okay, so again, I mentioned there hormones. So this is the reason why the hormones that specialized, either male or female, would increase, and that changes will happen. Okay, so what age does this happen? The puberty. So 8 to 17, 0 to 12, 18 to 25, 45 to 60. So again, puberty is the transition from being a child to a young adult. So the first one, 8. Yeah. Okay. Can be. It's somewhat in the middle. Second one, 0 to 12. That's baby to a child. So it's not. 18 to 25. 18 is where females will stop. So it should be before 18. So of course, 45 to 60, that's already what? Old age. So the best answer is 8 to 17. 17, 18, 19, 20, even that one. So again, this one is just the general average. So it can either be younger or older. But the middle is 8 to 17. Then we have here, these hormones are present in both males and females, but plays a role in male traits. So these are androgens. Okay, androgens again. One example is testosterone. So if I have here testosterone, the answer can either be testosterone or androgen. So both could be possible answer. But since testosterone is not on the choice, the best answer is androgen. Estrogen is mostly for females and also for female. Estrogen and female and progesterone is also female. So next, what are the reproductive hormones produced? Where are the reproductive hormones produced? Again, reproductive. So when we're talking about reproductive, so what are the glands that these hormones are produced? So it's in the gametes. And these gametes are either the ovaries or the testicles. So since we're talking about I did not say female or male, so it means both. So the term gametes is for both male and female. So the best answer is gametes. Okay, if I have here ovaries and testes, that's also correct. But since they are separated, the answer is gametes. Then we have, what is the term for the production of sperm? Okay, again, we mentioned when the sperm starts to be produced, it's called spermatogenesis. Oogenesis is the production of egg. Spermatocreation, of course, I just added that one, and wet dreams is just the involuntary ejaculation. So the best answer still here is spermatogenesis. Next, this is what happens when penis is filled with blood, making it hard. So the word hard already is your clue that it is about erection. Being erect, stand straight. Erect means straight. So being it hard and standing straight is erection. Okay. Now, this is what happens when semen is released through the urethra out of the penis. So the semen with the sperm is going out. Again, ejaculating, or that is through ejaculation, or releasing of the sperm, which is ejaculation. It's not ejection. Although it's injected, but it's not ejection, but ejaculation. And what is this? This is what happens when a boy wakes up and finds a wet, sticky spot on his pants. Of course, that wet, sticky thing is the sperm. But it is the thing that happened when he is asleep and he ejaculated without his knowing. And that is nocturnal emission or wet dreams. So another term for nocturnal emission is wet dreams. Next, this is what happens when the girl releases blood and the uterine lining are flushed out of the body. So this is what happens again when they unfertilized egg and some of the uterus lining will be dislodged or go out of the body and it's bloody. And that is called a period or menstruation. So the answer is either period or menstruation. Two possible answer. Okay, next, this is what happens when egg cells are produced. So this is even before puberty, which is at birth, and that is oogenesis. Again, eggs, so it looks like eggs. So production of eggs, oogenesis. Spermatogenesis, production of sperm. Okay. Next, at what age males stop growing and developing? So again, as I mentioned, males tend to stops developing later than that of females. So at what age does male stop developing or growing? 21, 18, 20, 45. The answer is 21. And at what age females stop growing and developing? At the age of 18. Okay. Next. The middle of the menstrual cycle, where egg is released and ready to be fertilized. So this is the middle. Okay, and that is ovulation. It is ovulating. So again, this is where the egg is very much ready to be fertilized on the ovulation. Okay. This is the term where the very first menstruation cycle of a girl during puberty. Okay, the very first period wherein maybe the girls don't know they're even menstruating, and that is menarche. The spelling again is menarche, menarche. And the very last is menopause. Okay, so during menopause, females will not release already eggs after. And males usually don't menopause. So even at they're very old, they can still produce sperm. But of course, the number would be less compared when they were younger. So that's another difference between males and females. Males do not menopause, but girls or females will menopause. Okay, so which is the correct arrangement of the menstrual cycle? So you can start at any phase, but of course there should be a arrangement. So let's start here. Menstruation, ovulation, follicular phase, luteal phase. So after menstruation, what happens is you don't ovulate. Again, it is mentioned here earlier. What is the middle of the menstrual cycle? We mentioned here ovulation. So it should be in the middle. So if there are 4, so it's either on the second or the third. Okay, so here. So menstruation, after menstruation, there should be something before ovulation, and after ovulation, there should be something before menstruation. So menstruation, something, and then ovulation. So there should be something in between them. So menstruation, luteal phase, ovulation, follicular phase, possible. Okay, let's have another. Menstruation, follicular phase, ovulation, luteal phase, also possible. Now, here, which of this could be the best answer? Luteal phase is when the lining of the uterus is already very thick. So if it's ovulating and it becomes very thin, then it's nonsense. So the best answer here is this one. Menstruation, follicular phase, where the uterus lining will start to become thick. Ovulation, ready for fertilization. Luteal phase, the lining is very thick, and then if it will not be fertilized, it will be shed through menstruation. So the best answer, this one, the third one. Menstruation, follicular phase, ovulation, luteal phase. Okay. So for this one, there is one item here where you will take 2. But in your examination, I removed this one. But for the sake of this one, let's have this one. Okay. Here. So testosterone is responsible for male characteristics. For what's this one? Also for testosterone, it is more of a male hormone. Next. Estrogen, it's more of a female characteristics and also a female hormone. Progesterone is promoting pregnancy and also a female hormone. That's it for this one. Okay, breast and nipples gets bigger. Of course, that's for females. Obvious deep deep voice, that's for males. Oily skin, hair and pimples appear for both males and females. Produces millions of gametes. So I did not mention a sperm or egg. Of course, you will know if it's a male or female already. So millions. So that's already males. And body sweats more. And that is for both male and female. Gets more muscle. They are muscular. So that's for males. Hair grows on face, armpits, and genitals. So this is for both males and females. For hair grows on face. For females, not that much. Okay, hips gets wider and more curvy. That's for females. In a month, only one gamete is produced. That's for females. Experiences nocturnal emission or wet dreams. That's for males or boys. And sheds through bleeding or period or menstruation. That's for females. Okay. So here is the phases of the menstruation. Of course, menstruation, follicular phase, ovulation, and luteal phase. So estrogen and progesterone is most likely equal. That is the middle phase, and that's for ovulation. Estrogen and progesterone drops. That's the opposite of the middle. That is menstruation, because you are bleeding already. So the hormones are low. Estrogen is highest at follicular phase. Progesterone is highest on luteal phase. Okay, so all this one here is in your notes on the menstrual cycle. Okay. So again, the focus for your examination, or a lot of the questions, will be most likely in the second and third page. So here, this is what I'm talking. Like during menstruation, the estrogen and progesterone is low, very low. But during follicular phase, estrogen is high, and ovulation, estrogen and progesterone is almost equal. And during luteal phase, progesterone is high. Okay. Okay, for this one, you still have questions regarding this. But again, mostly little. And for the first page, the structures, it is for identification of the body parts. Okay, so I'm done with this. I already talked about it. And if you still have a question, you can raise them now. Okay, so of course, I will not give you any more homework, because after this, if you think you are ready, you can just send me a message after this and I will send you the link. But later tonight, later, I will send the link for all the classes, and you can have your examination. I want you to have the examination earlier, because next week you will have exams for all your subjects. So if you can have the exam this week or early this week, it's better, so that you will have less things to read before the examination for those subjects. Any questions? Okay, none?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if you don't have any question, again, take a screenshot, send it to the group chat, and that would be your last attendance check for finals. And also, I will send already the complete activities again later on. I did not update your activities this yesterday because I'm busy doing the examination. Okay, for the attendance, I'm not yet done writing all of it. So again, no question, take a screenshot. And I'll just take a screenshot as well. What is today? 29. Okay. And 2. Mm. 9, 29, 10. Okay, same thing. Especially for those who did not write their numbers and their class, please write your names. Okay. So if you're done taking photos or screenshot, you can move out. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So once you're done, you can move out already. Bye-bye. Two. Mm, 2/3. 2/4. Okay. Oh yes, for every class there is a color code. For M/2/1, that's blue. 2/2, that's red. 2/3, yellow, and 2/4, green. So that you know if you are using the wrong link. Okay. Okay. Okay, so goodbye and good luck to your examination. Bye-bye.